everyone, my name is Kristin Hayes and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And today I'm going to show you how to make this cute Santa card. We're going to start with our base, and that's in Mango Melody, and it's cut at 8.5 by 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored, whoops, let me bring that back in frame, and I scored it 4.25 and just folded it over. Our next piece is Blackberry Bliss, and that is cut at 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. That's just going to be a layering piece. And then we are going to stamp on this piece of Whisper White, and that's cut at 5 1/4 by 4 inches. We're just going to put that aside for the moment. The first step we're going to do is we're going to stamp this cute Santa piece right here. This Santa is from a stamp set called Signs of Santa. Let me bring that back in frame. And then you've got all these cute little elves, the signpost, Mrs. Claus, the presents in the wagon, and there are matching framelits for this, and it is sold in a bundle. So that's going to be our first stamp that we do. We're just going to ink it up in the Memento Tuxedo Black and stamp right here at the bottom of the page. There we go. So I'm going to put that aside. Before I color, I like to cut it out with the Big Shot because you don't want to go through all the coloring and then have it jump on your Big Shot machine and cut it incorrectly, and then you're kind of stuck starting over. So I like to cut it first, but you can do it whichever order you would prefer. So I put this at the bottom because I am going to use the rest of the Whisper White for our other stamping items. So you just line that up. I'm using the Big Shot magnetic plate. I'm just going to move this a little bit so it doesn't hit the anchor that I have for my camera. We're going to go through the Big Shot, and here we go. Alrighty. I always just tuck that in a little bit. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to use our Stampin' blends to color this in, and the colors I'm going to use today is the light Petal Pink. I'm going to use dark Mango Melody. I'm going to use the dark Rich Razzleberry, and I'm going to use the dark Blackberry Bliss. So I'm going to start with my dark Blackberry Bliss first. And I'm no expert in coloring. I love to color. I love the stamping blends, and I just go along and do it whichever way I think is best. So I'm just going to leave a little bit of white in the hat, and then we're just going to color in the sleeves here all the way right here. Whoops, I missed a little bit over here. And then when I come in for the bottom of the coat, I'm just going to leave a few white spaces here and there. Not a lot, just a little bit. And the dark Blackberry Bliss and the dark Rich Razzleberry I find are very similar colors. So they work really well together, at least in the stamping blends. So you can see I left some pieces that are just white. I'm going to come back in, and you can use whatever tip you prefer. Just for this type of coloring right here, I prefer the smaller tip, and I'm just going to come over and go over everywhere I colored and color in the white spaces as well. And I'm going to do that on the bottom of the coat as well. So it just gets a little bit of shading, and again, I'm no expert in the coloring, but I just do what I like and how I like it to come out. Alrighty. So then I'm going to use the Petal Pink. Now we do have an ivory you can use for skin tones, but this Petal Pink I think is really pretty. We're just going to do his hands, his ears here, And then we're going to come in and just do his face. And I think I got a little thumb right here. There we go. I think I have all the pieces there. Then what I'm going to use is the dark Mango Melody. And whoop, I like that the caps are on tight to keep them from drying out. However, sometimes they're a little difficult to take off. We're just going to color in the belt buckle with the Mango Melody. Then what I'm going to do is I have my Wink of Stella in clear, and I'm just going to come in and I'm going to just do the brim of the hat in Wink of Stella and the pom-pom, and then I am going to go right over where we just did the Mango Melody and let that sparkle a little bit. Let me see if I can, if the camera will pick that up a little bit for you. Sometimes it's hard to tell on camera. So our Santa is all set. I'm just going to put him to the side. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in. I don't know if you've seen the Tags and Tidings stamp set in the catalog. I just love it. You can use this. It's a solid piece. I think there's 16 pieces in here, but it comes together in a solid piece, and you can use it as a background stamp the way it is, or you can come in with the framelits and make all individual tags with the holes already cut out. So for tonight's project, I just wanted 2 pieces. I wanted the Ho 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 and the Naughty and Nice. So all I'm going to do, it's already attached to my paper, I'm going to come in with our Blackberry Bliss, and I'm just going to ink up the section of the stamp that I need. So right here. I'm going to just press that on our paper. And again, I'm just using a scrap piece of paper. So I just needed the Ho 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 and the Naughty and Nice. So I'm all set with that. Now I could easily have stamped the whole thing and used the framelit and then just took the pieces I wanted and used the rest for another project. But for tonight, I didn't want the holes in it. So I'm going to use some framelits and some fussy cutting to get the pieces that I wanted out. So we're going to bring in our big shot one more time. We've got the handle going in the opposite direction this time. It might work a little bit better. Okay, so I'm just going to use one of the oval framelits. It's jumping around, so I don't fight it. I put my paper where the framelit wants to stick to, so it doesn't jump around on me when I'm cutting it out. So there's the Ho Ho Ho. Put that through. Alrighty. So there we go with our Ho 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 piece. Put this aside now. We're all set with the big shot. And then I'm going to just fussy cut out this Naughty or Nice. Or it doesn't even say or, this Naughty and Nice. There we go. And then one more snip. And we're all set with that piece as well. All right, so then we're going to work on the background of this card where we've got some night sky and the Mango Melody and the snowflakes in the Blackberry Bliss. So we're going to take our piece of Whisper White that was 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to start with the sky piece, and that's from Spooky Sweets, which is actually a Halloween set, but I just love this little piece. It adds a lot of dimension to a lot of different projects. All right, now in the Mango Melody, I didn't want the full effect because it's very bright. I love this color, but I didn't want it quite as bright. So I'm just going to stamp off and then stamp on. Stamp off and on, and just go around the card randomly, making a pattern. And it's never going to come out the exact same way twice, just because there's no real exact science to it. So that looks fine to me. Let me just close up the Mango Melody. I do like to always close my ink pads when I'm working because I have had too many projects fall in open ink pads, ruining the project. So then our last piece on this is going to be the snowflakes, and this is from Christmas Pines. I believe this came out last year's holiday catalog, and they did carry it over. We're just going to use the snowflakes right here. So we're just going to stamp into the Blackberry Bliss, and again, randomly stamp onto the Whisper White to get some snowflakes on here. And that looks pretty good to me. This I'm going to stamp off a few times so I don't inadvertently put my hand right into it. As you can tell by my fingers, I get quite inky. So then really we're all set. I've already pre-cut through the Big Shot our 2 pieces of layering circle framelits to put our Santa on, and then the 2 pieces of layering ovals to put our ho 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 on. So let's just layer this up. I'm gonna use snail. You can use whatever adhesive you would like. Layer that on. Whoop, it's a little too far down. You can't even see that. Let's go up here a little bit more. There we go. Then we're going to adhere this to the base of Mango Melody. I was not sure about Mango Melody when it first came out. It was a little too bright for me, but as I've worked with it more and more, I just love it. It also goes really, really great with Melon Mambo for a birthday card. Beautiful together. And I know these aren't traditional Christmas colors, but sometimes I just like to do something a little different. You could easily use one of the reds, Real Red or Cherry Cobbler, along with the shaded spruce to do this instead. I just wanted to do something a little bit different. All right, so then we've got some dimensionals for our Santa. Pop those on. Let's see. Here we go. All right, we'll pop our Santa on, and then the Naughty and Nice, I'm going to use one of the small mini dimensionals, or actually I'll put 2 on. They fit really nicely right on here. Okay. Put the Naughty in. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I can do it as it's on here though. I did just color in with the Blackberry Bliss marker the Nice. So that's starred in. And then on the Ho Ho Ho, I came in with the Wink of Stella again, and I just did the middle, and it does bleed a little bit, but I kind of like that with the Blackberry Bliss. Just make sure you wipe that off so it's all set for your next project. And then we'll just adhere the Blackberry Bliss oval to the Mango Melody, and then our Ho Ho Ho. Right here. And then again, I'm going to use dimensionals on the back of this to just pop it up a little bit. And then we'll put it on right here. So there we go. Here's the original back. Here's the one we just made. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions on the projects, just put it below in the comments and I'll do my best to answer. And if you're not already working with the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love the opportunity to work with you. Thank you very much. Have a good night.